Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was they were hiding documents. They had to force them to give documents. I think there's so many fucking powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trials. Wild.
What's going to happen, though, you think?
Well, Diddy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get
Think he's going to sing, though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, a lot of it is...
but then it's just another Epstein. It's another Ghislaine Maxwell, where somebody gets indicted and nobody else... Indicted for trafficking kids to...
Right, to no one. So many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
everybody.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight. Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs and these dudes are fucking like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are fucking. And it's like.
And pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to fuck girls.
Girls?
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the freak off. So he would hire the professional dicks to have sex with the girls, and I think he would watch, allegedly. That's what was alleged, I think. Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula. The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody. Right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
The thing is, like, we're getting the rumors from the internet, and the internet thinks that the Taliban took out that bridge in Baltimore. So it's like, who fucking knows? Who knows what's real?
That's what Diddy's lawyers, I think, said. It was like, that these are just trumped up charges. Not trumped up, I don't think they said that, but like bullshit charges.
Dude, when Homeland Security invades your house,
you got problems.
With dudes with fucking guns and body armor.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff; they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's fun. Of course, there's layers upon layers. When you get into these fucking conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
Like, if she's gonna be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein-type compromise deal where whether he was doing it himself. Conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it. There had to be.
They had to know.
Yeah,
they had to know.
Cat Williams is talking about it on
exactly.
Yeah, on that podcast.
But like who's feeding him the kids? You know.
Right. Yeah, and what videos do they have of these people where they're willing to defend him, and they're willing to keep quiet about all this? Like how many people were compromised?
Yeah.
The whole thing is fucking crazy.
You know
how many guys were on video saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how Ashton Kutcher, all these people. Like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing?
You think Diddy was rogue or Diddy was like a Epstein type, working for somebody?
That's a good question. Well, it would be a great way to compromise celebrities. Yeah, and get them to say whatever you want them to do, get them to do whatever projects you'd like them to do. I don't think he's even being charged for beating her up. Like the video of him beating her up? He's not even getting in charge for that.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back. He opened his podcast with one line that shook the room. This is the end of Diddy. For weeks, the courtroom has been on fire, witness after witness, tape after tape, and now the public finally sees what's been hiding behind the music, the fame, and the money. He's been watching the whole thing, reading every filing, listening to every leaked recording, and now he's speaking out. Let's be real, Joe said. This isn't a trial, it's an autopsy of everything Diddy built. Joe pulled up a headline live on air, Diddy accused of grooming, abuse, and blackmail in federal trial. Then he said it clear, if even half of this is true, he's not walking out of that courtroom a free man. He started with the FREAKOFF tapes. The term alone made Joe stop and shake his head. Freak off, he said. That's not just weird, it's terrifying. He explained how the court had been shown evidence that Diddy hosted drug-fueled parties where people were forced to perform, where women were recorded without consent, where threats were used to keep everyone quiet. And the worst part? Diddy allegedly kept those tapes, just in case someone talked. That's blackmail, Joe said. Plain and simple, that's a guy who knew exactly what he was doing. Then Joe went into Cassie's testimony. He read her quotes live. The moment she said, he told me if I didn't freak off, he'd release the tape. Joe's face darkened. That's not a relationship, he said. That's a hostage situation. He described how Diddy allegedly took her passport, her car, cut her off from her family. This guy was building a prison, Joe said. A golden one, sure, but still a prison. And it wasn't just Cassie. Joe brought up the other accusers, the assistant, the escorts, the former employees who saw the rage, the drugs, the fear. He quoted one court document. The defendant maintained control using threats, financial leverage, and access to the industry. Joe looked up. That's how these monsters survive, he said. Not because they're smart, but because they're rich. He then played a clip from the courtroom. It was audio from one of Diddy's rants, recorded without his knowledge. A voice yelling, cursing, threatening to ruin someone's life. Joe paused the clip. That's not a mogul, he said. That's a man spiraling out of control. Joe went deeper. He brought up the timeline, the rise of Bad Boy Records, the deals, the awards, and behind the scenes. Silence. Joe said, you think nobody knew? Come on, these people went to the parties, they saw the cameras, they saw the girls, they heard the screams, and they said nothing. He pointed to the names who used to stand next to Diddy. Where's DJ Khaled now? Where's French Montana? Where's Mary J. Blige? Gone. Silent. Scrubbing their Instagram. Joe didn't stop there. He said Diddy's not the only one on trial. This whole industry is, he said, because this doesn't happen unless the whole system lets it happen. He talked about the lawyers, the agents, the managers, the artists who turned a blind eye because it was easier than speaking up. They didn't protect the victims, Joe said. They protected the brand. Then Joe went back to the trial. He described the moment Cassie was asked why she didn't speak sooner. Her answer, because I was scared, because I didn't think anyone would believe me. Joe got quiet. That's the world Diddy built, he said. One where the truth doesn't matter, only the power. He read from another testimony, this time from a former employee who said he had to sign an NDA after witnessing something violent at Diddy's house. You know what that is? Joe asked. That's not confidentiality, that's a muzzle. Joe said the FREAKOFF tapes were the tip of the iceberg, that there were whispers of trafficking, of offshore accounts, of favors owed to powerful people. And now that it's all falling apart, Joe said, everyone's running for cover. He called out the media. Where were the headlines 10 years ago, he asked. TMZ was too busy reporting what shoes he wore to care about the women he hurt. He called out the music labels. They made millions off him, Joe said, and now they're deleting his name like it was never on the contract. He called out the fans. We cheered, we streamed, we went to the concerts, and we never asked what it cost the people around him. Then our Zyger Joe Sammer downright personal. He said if any other man in America had even one of these accusations, just one, he'd already be locked up. But because it's Diddy, Joe said, he gets a PR team and a second chance. He slammed the desk. That second chance ends now. He reminded everyone that the FBI is involved, that the Homeland Security raid wasn't just for show, that new witnesses are coming forward every week, and that this case isn't going away. He warned that more names would be dragged in, that more people would flip, and that the tapes, if they ever get released, will end careers. Hollywood's got a storm coming, Joe said, and it's not going to be pretty. Then Joe read the final court quote of the day. The defendant used fame, fear, and force to maintain power. Joe nodded. That's not just a sentence, he said. That's a legacy being torn down. He ended the episode with one final line. Diddy's not just on trial in court, he's on trial in history, and history is about to make its decision. And he's right, the trial is still ongoing, but the damage is done, and Diddy, he's not walking out the same man he walked in as. This is the collapse, and the world is watching.